say thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. The turnout's been amazing. So thank you. So welcome to our first annual Iraqi cultural charity event. And I really hope you really enjoy your day today. We'll be showcasing an art exhibition filled with amateur, distinguished and even global Iraqi artists. And they've kindly donated their works today to be donated as a fundraiser to help the orphans of Iraq. And this will be explained in more detail shortly, like where the money's going. But for now, I'd like to welcome Zaid Fikeki, my father, who's worked with me, obviously, in organising this event, to the stage to say a few words. Thank you.
تحية طيبة وشكرا لكم حضوركم الكريم. يجمعنا اليوم هدف. الهدف هو طبعا الطفولة العراقية. ماكو داعي واحد يطول لأنه هو معروف المعاناة اللي يعانوها الأطفال العراق. بالنسبة لي يعني الفيلم اللي شفته أو الأفلام اللي أشوفها والصور طبعا ما أقدر يعني واحد ما يقدر بصراحة يظل يعني ما يتخذ خطوة بسيطة ولو أو تحرك بسيط. الطفولة العراقية بالنسبة لي هي جذور العراق اللي طبعا بصراحة ما أعتقد لا ينهض إلا بسلامة وقوة جذوري اللي هم أبنائي وأطفالي. الفكرة طبعا بدت أنه شلون توظف الفنون اللي هي الرسم والنحت، موسيقى، شعر بخدمة فد هدف إنساني نبيل اللي هو إنقاذ الطفولة العراقية المسلوبة. احنا نعرف طبعا واحدة من واجبات العمل الفني يوصل أو يؤدي رسالة إنسانية، يعني واحدة من أهداف العمل الفني. فإحنا بالنسبة لنا كعراقيين إحنا نؤمن بأنه إحنا أول من خط ورسم. العراقيين هم أول من خط ورسم، هذا في الشيء إحنا نؤمن به. فعلينا أيضا نكون أول الساعين في خطى هذا العمل النبيل. فتولدت الفكرة بصراحة بحلم صغير لبناء شبكة من الفنانين والمبدعين، فحتى نساهم مع بعضنا في رفع ولو جزء بسيط من معاناة أطفالنا بالعراق. جزيل الشكر والعرفان لكل من ساهم في هذا التجمع المبارك. وبالأخير أنا أعتذر لكم جميعا عن ضياع الويكند، لأنه يعني عذرونا هالمرة مرتلخ يجوز شوية غيره. وأشكركم شكرا جزيلا يعني، وإن شاء الله تقضون في اليوم يعني إن شاء الله تتذكروه. وأود أن أتواصل معكم أيضا بالمستقبل وأشوفكم بعد المناسبات أخرى، ونشوف الابتسامة بسيطة ولو على وجه طفل عراقي تسوى عندنا بصراحة يعني كثير. شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you. So the next video I'm going to show you is made by the Iraqi Orphan Foundation. So Narjis and her team over there, thank you. And it's basically a video showing you where the funds are going and how they've helped. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we'll move on to poetry next. I would like to introduce you to Verity Egababian, who'll be reciting some poetry she wrote specifically for this event. So I hope you enjoy it.
Hello everybody. My name is Verity Egababian and I'll be reading one of my poems for you today. I'm currently studying creative writing at Brunel University. Iraq is a country very close to my heart, as my father was born and raised there, as were my grandparents. The devastation we see in the news, in images and through writing wholly inspired my poem today. And of course paying particular attention to the orphans in Iraq. When I was asked to write this poem, I felt honoured to be part of such a unique event, and it's something I'll be proud of for the rest of my life, so thank you. Okay. A place in my heart. Eyes are freshly bleeding. Distant sounds of children screaming. Memories are the only entity left breathing. A country swallowed by fires gleaming. Machinery tears them apart. Opposition has been there from the start. What is left of a mother's heart? Nothing. Eternal bonds are no longer internal. Eaten alive by a terrorizing inferno.
I felt honoured.
Your babies are left in this war alone and sent to fight when they are fully grown against people, places, governments unknown. Duels of fun turn to pools of blood. Tears of panic flood your neighbourhood. You witnessed their first breath. Now their lungs are filled with the stench of death. You watched them walk. You held their hand. Now your life is trodden beneath the sand. Who will be there when they learn to stand? Mesopotamia, as it once was called, has nothing left to remind us of the old. Who is there to watch them grow? Tears of joy are now silent echoes. Babies, women, men, families are torn apart. Tell me, what is left of a father's heart? Thank you.
Okay, next we have Dr. Ammar Alo, who is a biostatistician from the Royal Barts in London, and he'll be playing from Iraqi Maqam on the tenor saxophone. Event, we have the final performer, Zain Ali, who will be reciting some poetry that he also wrote for this event. And following that, we will open the exhibition to you all to start the buying. Thank you.
I'm going to be reading out a piece today which was inspired by a certain orphan that I discovered through a documentary called In My Mother's Arms. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's incredible. And there was an orphan, Seth, who inspired this piece, and the piece is called In My Mother's Arms to coincide with the documentary, because it was my main source of inspiration. And as I was writing it, I was just thinking about what Seth must feel, the emotions he must go through every day. So yeah, I just want to dedicate this piece to orphans like Seth. Thanks. The blood that ran through her veins, I felt the warmth in her hands. The smile that marked her despair, I felt the strength more than I can now. As my eyes absorb the water of sorrow, one by one, and my skin begins to sting with the tears that were left to dry, I remember that I am an orphan. The burn that I felt playing in the streets as I cut my skin against the concrete floor, crying and trying to catch my breath, I knew the pain was to be followed by my mother's embrace, her warm kiss and her miraculous ability to heal the wounds as I was tightly squeezed in her arms. Now, my screams, cries, tears, bullies are followed by nights of silence, numbness and emptiness, where I remember that I am an orphan. As I stare at the lines between my palms and see the dirt between them, the dirt contained from roaming the streets and deprivation, I read the path to my future in its most literal way. Just as my hands are filthy, rough and wounded, so is my future, and I remember that I am an orphan. As you huff and puff at your opportunities and the world as your oyster, I silence myself over my hopelessness. What bombs mean to you in television as an atrocity on the other side of the world, for me it's a reality. With the explosions mean more than demographic. The explosions mean my mother and my father, and then I remember that I am an orphan. Thank you.
I'm really sorry.
وقف دكتور لانه هو هنا ما يتحمل على ناس فوق. أنا يروح العاشر.
Just left the house.
So what would you like? The main student should be with the long green palm tree. Okay, and what's time?
طبعا بنهاية اليوم نحب نوجه الشكر الجزيل للمركز الثقافي العراقي على استضافتنا لهذا التجمع من أجل الطفل العراقي، وإن شاء الله نبقى على تواصل معهم. مؤسسة اليتيم العراقي طبعا جهود جبارة، شاركوا ويانا وحبوا الآن أن يقدمون شكرهم الجزيل أيضا لكم. والأخت أم أسماء تريدين تقولي شيء؟ تفضلي.
شكرا جزيلا باسم مؤسسة اليتيم العراقي. نقدم شكرنا للمركز الثقافي العراقي وللأخ زيد الفكيكي وبنت عائشة والعائلة الكريمة كلهم شاركوا بهذا الحفل الكريم. احنا طبعا مقررين عندنا مشاريع كثيرة للأيتام بالعراق، فإن شاء الله هذا الحفل يكون للمشروع التعليمي. عندنا الأيتام المتفوقين ندعمهم ونساعدهم حتى يكملون دراستهم ويكملون إلى أي مرحلة يقدرون بها الدراسات العليا إن شاء الله. طبعا إذا ارتفع مستوى الأطفال والشباب هم مستقبل العراق، فإذا كانوا ارتفع مستواهم العلمي والثقافي أكيد راح ينعكس على البلد.